So our next storyteller is a postdoc at Cornell, where she studies the microbiome of ants, two incredibly cool topics. She's from Brazil. She's a mom. She's an advocate for a more diverse and inclusive scientific community, which I am all for. And to that end, she even helped create a Women Deciphering Science Coalition for Science Communication. Please welcome to the stage, Ramalho. And I'm awful at pronouncing your last name, Manu.
Oh, you did it great.
Wait, can I do it? I practiced it.
Okay.
Ramalho. Did I get it?
I like barely heard that. So
Sorry, I didn't heard. Could you say that again, Emma?
10 points from Ravenclaw.
Yeah, great. Ramalho.
I practiced really a lot, so I got to have my moment in the sun. All right. Hello, Manu. Welcome back to the chaos that is me and Katie.
Will you tell us about your houseplants? Do you have any? Do you like kill all plants? What's your deal?
So my deal, since like I always was very into plants, I was not very good at keeping them. But in the pandemic, I start to get crazy. I have so many plants now in my house. My husband, Marcelo, is not happy with that. Every time that we go for a grocery or I saw a different plant, I want to buy it. I'm totally addicted now.
I love that. That's
Very
beautiful.
relatable.
Do you have any idea like what your count is at right now today?
What is my count for plant? It's more than 10 for sure. Yeah. And being Brazilian, like once that you plant your plant, they will be forever. And so for me here, it is interesting to know that some plants will die and the other will continue. And it's a kind of like surprising that next year when your plant, you didn't put anything in that vase and then the plant coming back and all that. It is a treasure.
It is a treasure. You're right. God bless us.
It is always a problem with plants. I'm learning that.
Plants or ants, if you could only choose one?
Oh, no, ants for sure.
You're talking to a woman with ants all over her shirt.
Yeah, and all my house. I think, so the huge question for me is now if I have more sculptures with ants or plants in my house. And the answer will be more than 10 for both.
My God.
Sounds fun.
You have a whole ecosystem going. I love it. All right. Well, we're going to pop out of your hair and disappear into our tiny corner.
Okay. Should I go? In the morning after celebrating finish my PhD in Brazil, I was in university bathroom. On the pharmacy pregnancy test, a positive appeared. I was in shock. What is the chance to getting pregnant in the first try? Well, enough. In my head, I thought, will this the best time to become a mom? I was literally shaking that positive will signify the end of my career. And I just have received an offer to continue my career doing my postdoc, working with one of the best scientists in my field, and continue doing what I love, microbiome and ants. And we need to move to USA for do that. And I was totally fine with that. Was my dream job, like the perfect next step for my career, which has just started. However, with that positive appear, will my job, like my dream job, still available? I really didn't know. So I always wanted to be a mom. And I even have my mom who always work and as a model who always work and keep her job and take care of my sister and myself. So I really never believed that I need to give up or anything. I really believe that I can do both. I just need to be a good planner. So before telling the news for our family, I quickly asked for a meeting for my potential new supervisor for my postdoc. And I was really scared to talk with her. In my head, I thought, will she see this pregnancy with something that separates me from my dream job? I really hope that was not. So I opened my computer, my laptop. I log in my meeting, and I was shaking. I started to telling my story with her, and I couldn't hold my tears back. But as I spoke, her face light up. She was happy. Even she even interrupted my previously prepared speech to congratulations me. To my surprise and happiness, Corey, another woman in size, she reminds me that I have an option to choose what is the best was the best for my family, and she will support my decision. And she even offered to hold the position for postdoc for over a year for me. So I was really relieved. And with that, my husband Marcelo and I, we decided to have our baby around our families and friends in Brazil. And then a few months later, Nicole, or in Portuguese, Nicole, known as Nikki, arrived to this world happy and healthy, a woman and sign of women in science, my little aunt. And a few months later, we all moved to USA to start my dream job, my postdoc. My 4-month-old daughter, my husband, me, and our 4-legged daughter, a Brazilian winter dog who does not like children or snow, and we live in upstate New York. Poor Cacao. So going back to work, for start my dream job, my postdoc, I was a mixture of feeling. I was excited for this part to come back to work, but I also was concerned to leave our daughter with my husband. So my first day, I was not very productive. And I was tasking Marcelo every 5 minutes. And if he need to take more than 2 minutes to answer me back, I was so stressed that I bite a nail. And I'm not sure if you know that, but if you try to take care of a baby and be available, a small baby, and be available in the answer message in your cell phone, are not two tasks that go easily together. So by the end of the day, I didn't have any more nails. So I can tell that in the beginning it was a little hard to learn how to be a full-time mom and also full-time scientist. But I was determined that I can do everything. And I don't want to fail. I didn't want to fail. And I'm a good planner, remember? So I have a good plan and I will stick with that. And I think overall we did well. Of course, with endless support for Marcelo, my husband, and also even with the new friends that we create a new village here where we live. So everything was doing well. But then pandemic hit us, and this time everything closed, including the door for our country, our family. And this time we were isolated here, my husband, my daughter, my dog, and me. So I'm organized. I'm very good planner. So I quickly organized a new routine, and I started to work at 6 a.m. before Nikki, now a toddler, wake up. And then between my husband and I and myself, in our 2 hours work shift, we have endless like working times, changing diapers, bottles, games, snacks, lunch. And I even can tell that Nikki start to realize the pandemic was also happening, because at some point she started to ask for put masks on her dolls. So it was a very sad moment for me, but at least she was doing the safest choice. So just keep going. So after the lunch, she got a long nap to go. So in that time, Marcelo and I, we worked like crazy. And sometimes I even forgot to have a lunch or just had a quick salad on front of computer. And around 3 p.m., she wake up again and we start everything again. More working time between changing diapers, bottles, games, snacks, dinner. And then after the dinner, a saga to relax a toddler started with books, bath, and bed. So working just 2-hour shifts, I didn't have much time to focus. And sometimes it was hard to develop a line of reasoning. So it was very often times where I need to work at 9 to finish tasks that I was unable to finish during the day. And with all that in just one day, I also we didn't have time to even think or process everything that was happening in the world. So we just keep going. And in the next day, repeat. And we keep repeating this for long weeks, months, and the entire year. So we are exhausted, we are scared, and we are isolated. So I also need to recognize that we have tremendous privilege to be able to live. I have a tremendous privilege to live in a small city in USA. And in general, I think we got along well. But little by little, I realized that I was not sleeping as I used to be before. And maybe was not having time to process everything that was happening in the world, or like not time to relax or even have lunch. So little by little, these things start to affect me. And despite of the continuing making progress in my work, was never so hard to finish a task or finish writing a manuscript. So I felt so alone. I think overall, I also felt that I was failing to be a good mom and failing to be a good scientist. But my only option was keeping going. So 2021 arrived. And with this new year, I was also excited because it will be the year that vaccines will arrive. So my first day coming back to the lab in 2021, I was very excited. I put my gloves on, I made fresh reagents. I was like planning several weeks and ahead with like different fun experimental. Was the perfect day. Nikki also was able to come back to daycare. She was excited to see her friends again. And we kind of have a sense that maybe the words start to coming back for something similar that was before. But then, like, it was a perfect day. But then that day, that night, I got a call from Nikki's teacher saying that Nikki's little friend's parents was diagnosed with COVID. Mm-hmm. And the school will need to close for another 14 days. That day, that night, after that call, I reached my peak of exhaustion. I was devastated. I was scared. So while my husband and I, we quickly tried to put alcohol in everything in the house, try to follow the steps of the day. And we put even ethanol alcohol in Nikki for some, like, try to protect her for unreasonably. But while we are doing that, like, again, without time to process, I start to thinking like, I can't be 100% of anything. I'm not 100% a good mom, and I'm not 100% a good science, because often I'm not able to focus just to look at my results. And I'm also not good enough, or I'm not able to like focus and play with Nikki. And I'm not 100% a good friend or sister or daughter, when often I barely able to finish my text during the day. And I don't have time or even energy to check on everyone else. I was definitely nothing perfect. And I was not even feeling okay. Few days later, we test all the children, and thankfully they're all fine. No one got infected. But then a paper came out in February, and that showed me what I already knew. Mothers in academia, in science, are being more impacted than other scientists during this pandemic. And seeing through my computer screen that data in a published paper with all the statistics confirming how my year has been like, brought me a little of relief and also sadness. I was not the only one who was having trouble to keep everything up. But despite of being isolated, I was definitely not alone. And, you know, I'm a scientist, so data means a lot for me. And seeing that paper published was a very important moment for me. It was a validation moment from everything that I was feeling. But a few days later, I got and Corey sent an email for all of us in the lab. Like, it was a random email And she put a quote that actually changed my way to see the academic life. It's a better philosophy, a better way to see academia life. In this email, she put a quote like, progress, not perfection. With that quote, I weighted a lid off of my shoulders. And slowly, little by little, I got back to sleep better. So now, it's actually seems that the word start to come back for something that similar like was before. So my husband and I are fully vaccinated, and we're still waiting for Nikki's turn. And I often find myself looking at my daughter and thinking why she's playing, like how much she grows since everything happened. She's so big now. And she's still happy and healthy as the same way that she came to this world. And she already started collect ants for me for fun. So, but I really hope that she don't remember much about these past years. And I don't want to that you remember, because especially I don't want to that Nikki think that this isolation, pandemic, or even world behind the mask, it is something that it is how life should be. So, however, if she still remember, I really hope that she knows that her father and I, maybe we are not doing our best. We are not doing things perfectly, but at least we are doing our best. And I really, really hope that this was enough. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Manu. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share.
No, thank you so much for sharing that story with us. I can't imagine that Nikki is not so proud of you. I would be proud if you were my mom.
I'm proud of you, and you're not my mom, so
that you know of.
You're right.
I like what Tracy dropped in the chat a few minutes ago. Manu, you are 100% a good you.
Oh, I like that. I hope that this was enough.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Emma and Katie, who helped me like choose the best way to tell my story. And I really hope that reach at least other moms that was in the same situation than I.
It was a pleasure, Manu. If you have a question for Manu, you can drop her a question in the question box. All right. Thank you so much, Manu. We'll see you at the end of the show.
See you.